Okay, so now we have our document set up. We've looked under the hood and seen what's cooking under there and got familiar with where things are. Uh, Please remember we have comments in the code, so read those if you're not sure what they do, and feel free to add your own. We decided that in this video we're going to start by tackling the header area. So to do that, we need to make sure we know where we are in our document. So here we go. Look, the header area, nice over there. Here's the tag opening, and here the highlighted closing tag, so we know which area we're working in. Feel free to give yourself some room. So here what we're going to do, it says content for logo goes here. This is placeholder text in the div class logo container. So right now we don't have anything there. It's placeholder text, but if we look at our image, it says this is called the fakegency. Wow, original. So let's replace that with some better placeholder content, I guess. There you go. And we can see in the preview that it's on its own line, and our navigation is here, which is under, not adjacent. So for our navigation, we're going to create an unordered list. Okay, and here's what I'm going to do. At this point, I'm going to open AI for this because it'll go much, much faster, and it will make things go a bit more smoothly for those of you who are still having issues with some of the code. You'll be able to recognize it, but at least you won't have to worry about making syntax errors along the way. So what we need to do is we need 1, 2, 3, 4 links, and these are going to be in an unordered list. We need to link these, and we need the CSS that's going to help us control them a little bit. So here's what I can do. If I really want to take advantage of this, I am going to do a screenshot like this, and I'm going to head over to Copilot or whatever AI of choice that you prefer. Let's hope it opens. There it is. Let's bring that in here. So here's what I'm going to do. You have to be a little creative with your prompt and be very specific with it. But what we're going to say is create an HTML unordered list to be used as navigation with links to home, about, services, contact, okay, so provide the nav tag and its contents, and also generate the CSS to make it look like the attachment. And Control V will paste the little screenshot you took of just that area. And if you click play, cross your fingers, we might end up with something we can work with. Okay, great. So we're looking good. The HTML looks good. And if we scroll a bit further down, not responding. Well, that's no fun. Okay, well, there it is. So let's take a quick look and see what's happening here. We have our HTML. There's the nav tag with our unordered list and all the trimmings that we're looking for. And here is the CSS to match so that we can have some interaction here. I'm curious to see, well, notice there's a pink underline. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to grab the nav here. I'm going to copy that, obviously. and replace the nav already here. So paste. Good, good. So there's our unordered list. And now in my style sheet, I'm going to go to the nav area here, and I'm going to copy this. And see, there's already a nav tag in there. I'm going to replace the existing one and just control paste that. And as you can see here, it has something that's pretty nice, even though it's not exactly what we see in the preview. It's what we want, close enough at this point. This is where I don't want people obsessing about the details and what have yous and spending 2 hours trying to get it right. We got what we wanted here. We came here for a nav bar. We got it. Let's keep moving. The next thing we want to do is bring these next to each other. So to do that, I have to find the parent container, which is the header at this point. But I think what I might need to do is wrap these up. Oh, there it is, header top. There it is. That's our parent container. Okay, so our parent container header top contains the logo and the navigation, right? And that's where it closes. And this is the stuff in it. And if we click here, header top, we can see that in our preview window, it encloses the logo and the nav bar. Now what we're going to do to header top is head on over back to styles.css. We are going to look for it, header block. It's not there. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it. And I'm going to add it right. Oh, look, there it is. How about that? So I need the logo and the navigation next to each other. So that will be a display flex property. Bang, right there. There it is. Okay, now I also want the navigation to be all the way to the right, pushed all the way to the right, which means that this container should grow to take up this leftover space and push the navigation all the way to the right. So to do that, I have to target the logo container and say flex grow. And if you recall, 1 will trigger, oops, syntax error. Flex grow, there it is, 1. And that's enough to trigger the grow, right? So there it is. Now this container, regardless of how much text is in it, will grow to take up the full space of the header container. Again, don't worry about the visuals. We're building structure, but we got what we wanted here. If we look at our preview, here's our logo. Here is our navigation. The rest is cosmetic. We'll deal with it later. And by later, I mean maybe after we deal with this container down here. Back to our source code. And this is the header block. It's a top header area with logo and navigation. That's what we're looking for. So content for header block goes here. We need some placeholder text, so you can insert just any gibberish text or just copy it from anywhere. So to just quickly fill this with content, you could just copy paste what's here. Just there. And give yourself a little p tag in there. So you saw what I did here. I selected the text, and to add a p at the beginning and the closing tag at the end, you just press Control T on your keyboard. It might be Command T on the Mac, I'm not sure. Or it's Control T on the Windows PC, and then you choose your tag, and it will wrap it with the tags you need, or you can just type it out. This is a quick and easy one. So I'm going to take this and paste it again just so we can have more content. There it is. So now I have my 2 paragraphs here. What else do I need? I need a button. So for that, we will, for now, add a button tag. And we don't care about its contents. We'll just put click me for now so we know it's a button. And we can go ahead and style it. And if we look at what kind of styling we need, we have larger text, some other large text, the button blue with white, and it only goes halfway across the screen with a bit of a margin on the left. So this is a spacing width margins thing with a bit of cosmetic stuff happening. So let's tackle that. Let's go into header block and see what we could do here. Nav menu, header block, there we go. So header block, what's the first thing we want to tackle? Well, there's 2 pieces of text in here. So we'll leave the header block, well, the width, first of all. Let's say width is 50%. Just going to guesstimate. There it is. So now it's already more compact. And we want to add a bit of space on the left to match the image here, which has a little wider margin. And there it is, margin left. I'm just going to guess and say 96px. It's a random value. There you go. If it's too much, make it smaller. If it's not enough, add a bit. So we're kind of getting there. Close enough. Don't worry about the typography just yet. We'll worry about that next. But for now, let's tackle that button. So we know it's a button, and we know it's within the header block container. We could go ahead and give that button its own class name, or we can target it using specificity and saying in header block, if there's a button, make it make the background color blue. Background color. Let's find. Ooh, it's a little too bright. Ooh, cornflower blue. Sure. There it is. You can see it right away. We could make the text white by saying color white. There it is. And it's a little crammed, so we're going to give it a bit of padding. We're going to give some padding like this. Top, we're going to give padding of 12px. Right, we're going to give it 16px. Bottom, 12px, and left, and you can see the list over here, right? Padding top, right? So you know which order they go in. And the last one is padding left, 16px. There you go. And that doesn't look too bad. We'll be happy with that. We could fine tune it later. And let's see if we can add a corner border radius to this for some rounded corners. 8px. Yay, look at that. Beautiful. And let's not worry about the specific colors and borders and all that right now. Good enough, right? We're happy with what this is. We're going to keep moving and seeing what's left here, and it's this big background image that we're going to include in the header, and that one we'll do in the header tag, which should be right there. How about that? So this is logically ordered from the largest container to the smaller ones, children containers inside, etc. And try to maintain that kind of logic to make finding your stuff a bit more easy. So for this, we are going to include a background image URL, and this allows us to browse in our images folder, in the header folder, and we are going to assign the landing one page to make it match. Don't forget your semicolon. And there it is. We see it appear over here, but it's not placed the way we like. So for that, we want to say background position. No, that's not it. Background size, I think. Background size. And what we want to choose is cover. And cover will automatically measure the width of your container and scale the image down so that it looks good and scales with it. So there we go. We got it in there. We're looking pretty good so far. Of course, the text is not white. We can fix that slowly. So we can do that here and just say logo color is white. There it is. And in the, where is it? Header block, we can say color white. There you go. So now we've targeted most of the stuff we're looking for. We're in good shape for the header. We're going to save this here and move on to the next section to keep things moving. See you in the next video.